Hello everybody and welcome back to another Game News Roundup. Today we're focusing on PlayStation news and rumors. As you can see by the title, PS5 Pro dev kit prototypes are rumored to be sent to first-party devs soon. So, there was a rumor in March of this year, so a couple months ago, that Sony was developing a PlayStation 5 Pro with a tentative release window of late 2024. This is according to sources who spoke with Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson. Henderson is now reporting in a new report that there's a 100% degree of certainty. He's now saying he's 100% certain that the PS5 Pro is actually in development. The first dev kit prototypes are expected to be in the hands of first-party PlayStation developers in the next couple of months, with third-party developers receiving them by the end of the year. Late 2024, which will be 4 years after the launch of the PS5. Of course, developers that get to really take advantage of the PS5. Does a Pro seem needed? I don't know. Why not? You know, all the different, you think about the specs for computers. Why not do that with consoles? I mean, I guess the Xbox already did that with the Series S and Series X, one being more powerful than the other. Series X being more powerful, having power similar to the PS5 ones. The PS5 has a better slightly faster SSD. The Series X is a slightly faster, is it CPU and GPU? But they're, relatively speaking, they're not that far different from each other, spec-wise. But also, Henderson in the past has reported that an updated PlayStation 5, I don't know if it's a PS5 Slim per se, with a detachable disc drive, is rumored to be released later this year and is set to phase out the current PS5 model within a year. So yeah, there's been a rumor that a PlayStation 5 with a detachable disc drive will be launching later this year. So it's kind of like how right now you have the digital edition and the standard PS5, one with and one without a disc drive. This would be kind of all in one, so you can buy a disc drive later on if you want to expand the PS5 with the disc drive. Or so you can buy the digital version without the disc drive, and you can buy the disc drive that gets attached to it. So yeah, the detachable disc drive will be connected to the PlayStation using an extra USB-C port on the back of the console. This updated PS5 is also rumored to not have any major changes from the original PS5. So spec-wise, it'll be the same. You are hopping in the car, drive safe, Ness. Hopefully physical therapy for Mindy goes well. There's also been rumored, this is all from Tom Henderson, he's hearing from insiders, from sources he's been reporting on, that Sony is developing a new PlayStation handheld, which is codenamed Q-Lite. And rather than being a dedicated gaming device or cloud streaming device, it will be instead use remote play with the PlayStation 5. It is reported to use adaptive streaming up to 1080p and 60 frames per second and require a persistent internet connection. So yeah, I guess the best way to describe it is the Wii U gamepad. If it has to be remote play, you kind of have to be in the same house, I guess, in order for it to work. So kind of like how the Wii U gamepad works. And early prototypes of this Q-Lite handheld. Then again, while these are prototypes, while this is in development, doesn't mean it'll actually see the light of day. Or, who knows, maybe the sources are wrong. But early prototypes of the Q-Lite are set to look similar to a PS5 DualSense controller, but with an 8-inch screen in the middle. So I guess you can almost picture the Switch, except with PS5s on the side, PS5 DualSense controller on either side, kinda. I guess that's one way to picture it. I could be wrong, but that's how I'm picturing it. It's kind of like the middle of the Switch screen part. But I mean, I'm not picturing it to be detachable, mind you. But it includes adaptive triggers, haptic feedback, volume buttons, speakers, and audio jack, and more. So it's basically a DualSense controller with the screen in the middle. Again, also kind of like the Wii U gamepad. Also kind of, I don't know. I'm just how I'm picturing it in my head. We'll see what it ends up being, if it ends up being real or not. The Q-Lite handheld is in the quality assurance phase and is scheduled to launch after the rumored PS5 with detachable disc drive, but before the rumored PS5 Pro. So, with what he's saying here, rumored PS5 detachable disc drive coming out later this year. Now, is this going to be a much smaller PS5 than we have now? Like a kind of a slim-ish? They have shrunk some of the stuff inside the PS5, so they could probably make it a bit smaller than the PS5, which is quite huge. I mean, so is the Series X. They're both huge consoles. Some of the biggest consoles we've seen in a long time. So yeah, PS5 detachable disc drive later this year, end of next year, rumored PS5 Pro, and apparently sometime in between that, so maybe next spring, we'll see a Q-Lite handheld. Or maybe next... we'll see. Again, these are all rumors. These might not be true. These are according to sources. I mean, there was a PS4 Pro, so PS5 Pro does make sense. And some type of a new redesigned PS5 also makes sense, as there was a PS4 Slim that came out. I want to say it was 3 years after the PS4 came out, we had the PS4 Slim, I think. And, like, there was the Xbox One S, the smaller Xbox One as well, that came out, I think, 3 or 4 years after the Xbox One. Then, obviously, you had the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, more powerful consoles of the last generation. So, we'll see how things go and see where things end up being. Obviously, if the detachable redesign PS5 ends up being true, we'll probably hear about it. I'm guessing... That's a good question. I would assume if it comes out this year, it'd be sometime later this year. Or maybe it was a big holiday thing. Maybe we'll hear about it in August or September. For it to launch relatively soon afterwards. I don't know. We will see. So yeah, a couple more things. We got Spider-Man 2 news. So yeah, Sony and developer Insomniac Games have announced that they are collaborating with Marvel to release a prequel comic to the upcoming PS5 exclusive, Marvel's Spider-Man 2. The comic is written by Christos Gage, who is the writer on Marvel's Spider-Man, and illustrated by Iguara? I am really bad with pronouncing names, I do apologize. But if you've watched me for a while, you shouldn't be shocked. Fans in the U.S., in celebration of Free Comic Book Day on May 6th, will be able to visit a participating comic book store or download the comic digitally on the Marvel Unlimited app or Marvel.com. So we've got a prequel to Marvel's Spider-Man 2 coming out next on Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. You send me a link for later. I will check it out after this, and that sounds good. So yeah, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 prequel comic coming out at the end of this week on Saturday. If you guys want to check that out, Saturday, go for it. And another bit of news, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered is now available as a standalone release, will be launching later this month. It's not available yet. Be available later this month as a standalone release on the PS5. It'll also be available as a $10 upgrade available for those who own the original Marvel Spider-Man Digital Deluxe Edition, or Marvel's Spider-Man Game of the Year Edition on the PS4. The game was previously only included with Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition, and those who own the standard edition of Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales will also still be able to purchase Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered by upgrading to the Ultimate Edition through the main menu of the game. So yeah, this Spider-Man Remastered, I know it was available on PC as a standalone release, but on PlayStation 5 it required, hold on, where was it? Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition, which was then, if you owned the standard Miles Morales version, you were able to purchase it as an upgrade through the through the main menu. And again, if you own Marvel Spider-Man, any of the main 3 versions on the PS4, you will be able to upgrade for $10 to get the Spider-Man Remastered on PS5, but as a digital-only release. And again, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered is also available on PC, on Steam, and Epic Games Store. So that's going to about do it for these Game News Roundup over the latest bit of PlayStation gaming news. What do you think? Are you interested in a PS5 Pro? Let me know in the comments section down below. Or do you think it's too soon for a PS5 Pro? Do you think it's not needed with the power of the PS5? Let me know. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you all next time.